Hey parents, I'm Mr. Bergmann. I'm going to be your son or your daughter's teacher. I'm excited to just be here and another year. This is my 7th year here at Houston Christian. I want to introduce myself, briefly introduce the class to you so that we can start a dialogue because it takes a village. Hey, I'm married. This is year 30. We just celebrated our 34th wedding anniversary to Chris. Some of you may know Chris. Chris is one of the nurses here at the school. We are the proud parents of 3 amazing children. Caleb is the big guy over there. He is married to Alyssa, and we have Caleb and Alyssa are foster parents, and so they've had 8 foster kids over their time together, and this is their latest one, and someday maybe they will adopt a young man or woman. So yeah, I also have 2 other children. We have Katie, who's right next to me, and we have across the way, we have Emily, and then she's married to Peter. And I've been teaching for a long time. This marks my 40th year in education. Here I am in 1986, teaching in my very first classroom. Yeah, that's me with the weird hair. Yeah. I've had some great privileges along this crazy career of mine. In 2002, I won an award that I attended the White House, kind of like Colorado Teacher of the Year for science and whatnot. And there I am, kind of in that one picture. In 2012, I wrote a book that became a national or international bestseller, 13 languages it was translated into. That led me to write many, many other books. I think I've got about 10 or 11 books that I've written. And let me say this about education. I want to just assure you that your kids are going to be well taken care of. You know what I believe what makes good teaching good? 2 things. It needs to be active, and meaning that passive learning doesn't work, and so there needs to be active learning. Just sitting there in the sit and get method, research has shown it doesn't work. So it needs to be active, and then the second, number 2, it needs to be relational. And I mean, this is something that Houston Christian has done well for a long, long time, is that we really believe in helping the entire child. And then you add Jesus to this. You know, I've got a saying, and you're going to hear me say this to your students. They're going to know this statement. I call it Jiffy. It's something I will say to them every day. Jesus is for you. So the work I have done throughout my career with the writing of the books, whatever, has been, I helped develop this method called flipped learning. And let me just briefly give you just a few slides on what to understand flipped learning. So you might remember when you were in school back in the day, is that your teacher stood up and did the lecture thing. This is a taxonomy of learning created by this guy named Benjamin Bloom. And it talks about levels of cognition. And the lowest level of cognitions would be remembering, and then understanding is more difficult, applying is harder, analyzing, you get the idea. The higher you go, the higher the level of cognition. And if you had been in my classroom for those first 19 years, you would have seen that I spend the vast majority of my time down here doing the lecture thing, and I sent my kids home to do this stuff up here. But the idea of the flipped classroom, honestly, is to turn that on its head and to spend less class time down here and more class time on the hard things. I mean, you probably had your teacher send you home with all this hard stuff, and you'd go home and you go, I don't know what to do. My parents can help me, and I teach physics or geology and chemistry, all these things. It's like, hey, I don't remember it. And honestly, in one of my books, I kind of coined the new shape of Bloom's taxonomy, where I thought the ideal shape is this diamond. Is it in class? If you come into my class, feel free to come in, and we would spend the bulk of our class time in the middle of the cognitive realm. And so that's the idea of flipped. And so what is that going to look like is there's an expectation that your students are going to do a short reading or watch a short video, okay, where they're going to have the lecture, the introduction to the new content. That's that remembering and understanding piece. And then when we come to class, we're going to do the hard stuff. I'm not going to, the goal is not to send them home to do hard stuff. The goal is to send them home with the easy stuff, because they're going to struggle. And if they struggle on a physics problem, they struggle with a geology concept or whatever they're doing, the point is I am the expert. I am the physics expert. I'm the geology expert. I'm the chemistry expert. I can help them better than you can. Some of you probably are brilliant physicists and whatever, but very few of you, let's be honest, or it's just too old. The archives are so far back. And so I want to spend that time with your kids here. And honestly, you know, in the last couple of years, the world's changed with the advent of artificial intelligence. And honestly, the more AI has become a thing, the more this model of the flipped learning model really makes sense, because too often now students can let the ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using, do this hard work for them. And then what happens is they shortchange their learning, and it hurts them long term. And so I've been thinking about artificial intelligence, and a lot of people have asked me to. In fact, I'm presenting on it to the whole faculty here just a little bit later this morning as I record this. And so by the time you see this, that will have already happened. I've also recently written a book called the Mastery Learning Handbook, and I wrote it here at Houston Christian, or based on the work I was doing here. And the idea there was students. So here's a statement. I don't care when a student learns something, I care that they learn it. You see, one of the concerns that I've had over the years is not every student learns at the same pace, and why should we penalize? I mean, there's a built-in assumption, I think, in our world, in the world of education, and it says basically this. It says that if you learn fast, you're smart, and if you learn slow, you're dumb. I don't believe that's a true statement. And hence, that's one of the reasons I wrote this book. And so I helped develop the mastery learning model. There's many people have been doing mastery learning for a long time, but my contribution to it has been this book, and then some of the work that I've done with Flipped, how it kind of connects. And so one thing your students are going to have an option to that maybe they've never had before is that I allow them to retake tests, and because I want them to master the material. So when they get to a big unit test or whatever, they can take it 3 times, and I care that they learn it. So that's going to be a big win. Now, one thing I would encourage you to encourage them is sometimes I say, well, we'll just take the high score, but then students don't take that first attempt seriously. And what I've seen happen over these years is if they don't take the first attempt seriously, then they have to keep like preparing for it, the second attempt and the third attempt. And then what happens is that they fall behind in other things. And so it is important. I mean, if they need help, I'm here to help them. So they don't understand a particular concept, there's ample opportunities for them to come in and just say, hey, give help. And hopefully you're catching from me that I care about your kids, and I care about their cognition, I care about their lives, I care about their relationship with Jesus, all these things. And I'm here to be ready to help your kids. So that's kind of my big message. And so I'm excited to be your son or your daughter's teacher this year. I look forward to chatting with you at the Meet the Teacher night. At football games, by the way, I am the voice of the Mustangs, so you may have heard my voice if you've been around. And I will be that guy in the microphone in the booth this year. They've said they're letting me come back again for another year. So yeah, thanks again for entrusting your kids here to Houston Christian High School. It is an amazing place. Again, I start my 40th year this year. I didn't teach all 40 years, but it's 35, I don't know, something teaching years. So, and this school is one of the top schools in the country. I was at a conference. I spoke at a conference this summer about artificial intelligence and a Christian schools conference, and I was having a conversation with I think it was like his assistant head of school at a school in the Dallas area, and he basically said, he told me this, he says, I wish Dallas had a school of the quality of Houston Christian. He says, if I was to look at all the best Christian schools in America, he said, I would put about 5 of them on the list. There's one in California, I think he said, one in Atlanta, one in New York, and us. If he were to put the top 4 or 5 schools in America. So your kids are going to be well taken care of. We have an amazing staff. We have an amazing group of teachers and our students. Wow, what amazing kids they are, and that's attributable to you, that you entrusted your kids to us. I look forward to meeting you. If you have questions about this weird method that I've developed, it works, I promise, and your students will be well supported. Mr. Bergmann out.